Hello! Welcome to a big old, look how thick that is, a big old Subterranean press unboxing. One of my favorite kinds of Subterranean press unboxings, the 50% off Subterranean press unboxings. I know I just did one the other day, which was the dinged books. These are not dinged, these are brand spanking new. They did a 50% off sale, kind of a Black Friday deal. My books are packed by H, same person who packed my dinged books. Thank you, H. These ones, as I mentioned, are not dinged. So we're going to have to take these out. They're in little micro packages. We're going to get packing peanuts everywhere, but it's just bound to happen. Okay, that didn't go as badly as I thought it was going to. Let's get these out first. Come on, buddy. Let's salvage it out of the box. We're going to get the packing peanuts out of the way. Love me some Subterranean press packaging. It's always packed to the brim with packing peanuts, bubble wrap on the books themselves. Let's get the box out of the way. And even on their newer titles, when it's like a single title they're sending you, they have like corner protectors for the books now, which are just, it's just like a bubble wrap like this, but it's just a corner piece cut off there that they put on the corners to further protect the books. So 50% off, some very good titles. Some titles I wanted to check out, so I was on board for that. We got the packet slip here. We don't need that. We got our quotes in the warehouse bookmark, like always, including everything in all the wrong order. The Best of Chaz Brenchley, City of Songs by Anthony Ryan, which I actually unboxed on my channel, and Princess Floralinda in the 40 Flight Tower by Tamsin Moore, who did the Gideon the Ninth, Harrow the Ninth. And our quote from the warehouse, which is, "Ooh, I did not consider the possibility of Carl having a dark bovine past." Very nice. So anyways, this has several titles in it. We're going to start with the tiniest one. Nice little novella, The Properties of Rooftop Air by Tim Powers. So Tim Powers is one of my favorite authors. I love Tim Powers. And more specifically, I really love The Anubis Gates, which is his best novel. I will fight you on that one. But The Properties of Rooftop Air is an Anubis Gates story. So it's a nice little novella, a little short story length here. Properties of Rooftop Air, featuring Horribin the Clown, which predates Pennywise the Dancing Clown, and is just an absolutely terrific character. This is the numbered edition, which, normally $75, 50% off. And it's got artwork, dust jacket by David Palumbo, who does gorgeous artwork. I actually just saw, and he's doing the artwork for Ghoul in the Cape, which is an Earthling publication. But they just posted some interior artwork that he did there. Very nice end papers there. This is copy 276, signed by Tim Powers. And I don't know if there's any interior illustrations. Oh, there is. There is some interior illustrations. But it's tiny. There we go. Tiny little margin size, 75 pages, even with the tiny margin size. It's a nice little tale. But I'm all for it. Like I said, I like me some Tim Powers. So especially if it's Anubis Gates related. I have the Centipede Press edition. It's not signed. It's just it's an unsigned edition. But it's a very gorgeous edition. So I'm going to keep the old titles over here on the left so you can be like, hey, if you're flipping around through the video and you want to see what the last book I unboxed was, it's right there. Let's go into the next one. The next one is The Night and the Music, which is a Lawrence Block collection featuring his Matthew Scudder stories. So, hey, I'm here in Buffalo. Lawrence Block, has some history here in Buffalo, so that's always pretty cool. So this is, like I said, not really a best of. It's just a collection of Matthew Scudder stories by Lawrence Block. If you haven't read any Matthew Scudder, I highly encourage you to do so. I say start with When the Sacred Gin Mill Closes. That's a really good starting point. The signed limited edition is bound in leather. I believe it has an additional story, if I remember correctly. Yes. So this is the signed edition, normally $50. Got it for 50% off. And it includes A Time to Scatter Stones, which does not appear in the trade edition. So there's the artwork there. I know the artwork, it's the same artwork for both, but I believe the coloring of the letters is different between the limited edition and the trade edition. You can even tell that because if there was the same dust jacket, you would have the information for both editions on it, whereas this just says the signed limited edition. So, nice little leather-bound tome there. Night and the Music. I like me some Lawrence Block, you know. Got some good deals on other Lawrence Block earlier this year. You know, Hunting Buffalo with Bent Nails. No, they Hunting Buffalo, but yeah, that was Lawrence Block. That was his nonfiction. And then there was Collectibles, which was a piece, an anthology that he edited. And there's a Time to Scatter Stones in the back there, which is a pretty hefty, I think it's novella length. Yeah, it's pretty hefty there. There we go. So that's, you know, that's a good chunk of story right there. So the trade edition is, I mean, they're both still available. The trade edition is available for cheap, and I'm sure you can buy that through like any retailer. But, and you're missing out like 25% more story. So you got to get on that. Then finally, I say finally as if it's one last book. It's one more package of books. Finally, we have our best of collections. If you're watching my other unboxings, thank you. I mentioned in the most recent one, which I just uploaded a few days past, that Subterranean Press has been on a best of kick. They've been doing, you know, various authors, best of titles that are kind of compiling the short stories or novellas of those authors, and I am all for it. It'd be nice if they would, on my wallet, if they would slow down, because they just keep cranking them out, but I just wait until I get them for 50% off. I recently just got, they were dinged copies, but it was the best of Elizabeth Hand, and the best of, oh my god, who was the other one? David Brin, that I just got. But anyways, next up we have the best of Walter Jon Williams. Known for space operas, but he's written a little bit of everything. He's written some kind of cyberpunk, he's written some humor, he's written all sorts of stuff, but a lot of science fiction, which I'm all for. So I haven't read, I don't know if I've actually read anything by him, I just read of him. So you got Walter Jon Williams, which is kind of a running theme with these best ofs, is that I don't know too much about him, or haven't read too much about him. But I figure if I'm going to dive in, you might as well start with the best of, right? You know, the greatest hits, if you will. So this features a lot of, it's a thick volume, but there's only like a half a dozen stories in here. Nice end papers there, nice little sheen to them. And it's signed by Walter Jon Williams. I like that signature, that's very nice. This is $3.39. There's a lot of novellas in this. There's not as many short stories as some of these other collections, because there's just a lot of novellas, which I'm all for. Novella can be like the perfect length of writing medium. I mean, I love novels and short stories as well, but novella, you get the best of both worlds. You get a little more world building, so you're not thinking, oh, that's it, by the time you get to the mid, by the time you end the short story, and it doesn't have to drag on like some novels do. Not that all novels drag on, but you know, it's novella's like right in the middle. Best of both worlds. Next up is some Chaz Brenchley. Get some speculative fiction here. Now, Chaz Brenchley, I will admit, I don't know if I've heard of him at all, and I apologize to any Chaz Brenchley fans out there. But, you know, 50% off. Best of. Can't go wrong. Oh, we got a little... It's not dinged, but it's got a little crease in the dust jacket there. But oh well. That's the inner flap. I don't mind. Everything in all the wrong order, as hinted at on our bookmark. So Chaz Brenchley, as I said, is speculative fiction. Another big old tome here. This one's got... Oh, this one is kind of dinged. Look at the spine on that one. But for 50% off, I'm not going to complain. It's got a nice little texture of the end papers that I don't think it's going to pull up on the video. Number 146, Chaz Brenchley's signature. And this one's got a bunch of short stories in it. Got Elizabeth Bear. And look at that. Look at all those stories. Like I said, I'm not very familiar with Chaz Brenchley. But if I'm going to dive in, I'm going to dive in with the best of. Yeah. I like speculative fiction. It's always nice. So, looking forward to diving into that. Fortunately, my reading list is getting longer and longer by each video I publish here. So, it's getting terrifying. And finally, last but not least, is some historical science fiction. Kind of an alternate reality, I guess you would call it. I'm not really sure. Best of Harry Turtledove. It's kind of got a Mount Rushmore thing going on the cover there. So, what if stories? That's how you would describe it. There we go. Set in surprisingly altered Earths. So Harry Turtledove does a lot of, as I mentioned there, kind of alternative histories, like science fiction with a twist, historical fiction, if you will. But it's like historical science fiction. Best of Harry Turtledove. I like the white binding here. Very nice. Also very dangerous, because if you don't cover that and you got your hands dirty with anything, it's going to show up on this. You know, it's what happens with white. Anything that's white. It's going to get dirty. So I'm going to put a broad out on that. Harry Turtledove right there. Number 363 with his little Mount Rushmore of dinosaurs. And this is also a 2021 publication. Look at all those short stories. The Visitor from the East. You know, jam-packed with stories. I mean, we're talking almost 600 pages, 550 pages here, which is very nice. Very nice indeed. And 50% off, you can't go wrong. All of these titles are still available at subterraneanpress.com. Like I said, they don't just exclusively... If you're watching this video and you're saying, I don't want best of collections, they don't exclusively publish best of collections. I mean, they've got a lot of other titles. A lot of exclusive titles, a lot of, fantasy titles, lots of science fiction titles, just a whole lot of titles in general. There's the Properties of Rooftop Air running away. So, I mean, they most famously, they've done some Stephen King. They did The Shining. Most famously, which is always one of the hottest items out there. I can't get all these to fit in one shot. Oh, well. Most famously, the hot items out there are the Red Rising series they've done. Gideon the Ninth is very hot in the secondary market. I would say that their Jim Butcher Dresden Files series is very popular. And one of the most sought-after Subterranean Press ones that go for the highest price are the George R. R. Martin titles. Of course, I mean, he always commands a high price, but very high with Subterranean Press editions. But yeah, check them out, subterraneanpress.com. They do sales, like this sometimes, or with their dinged books for 50% off. You can save a little money there, and you can get some best ofs. You can get some just novels, novellas, all sorts of stuff. I've unboxed various Subterranean Press titles on my channel, so if you want to watch more, feel free to check out the channel. If you're subscribed, thank you. If not, please consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.